Voice is active. That's cool. Yep. That's the sentence. That's it.
Give me a second.
That was weak. Shit. Man. I might get my burrito by the time D&D is done. Also, Pebble Brain by Lovejoy, go listen to it. I don't know if we are live, but
We are
highly,
100% live to no one, however.
I was like waiting for it. I was like reloading my page, like, when is it going up? But 10 out of 10, Pebble Brain by Lovejoy. Go listen. After watching D&D, go listen.
Yeah.
Or playing D&D. It's very indie and I love it. It reminded me
Will my
a
phone
lot of...
stay there? Let's hope.
Yes. Sticky glue. Sticky tap.
Just glue my phone into an upright position.
Yes.
Oh, excuse me.
Arthur, you weren't there, but I said everyone gets effects of a short rest starting the session.
Oh, I should probably...
Yeah, do your hit dice, replenish your abilities. I'm not gonna say whether or not you're gonna need it, but I'm not gonna be cruel. Oh, fuck. I stepped on my dice tray.
Wait, that's one.
Watch out for the D4s.
No, the D4s are fine. I think it's more like the whole, like, a bed of nails deal where I stepped on all of them all at once, so I'm okay. I'm more like the whole deal of, like, because I got up to close my door, completely forgetting that I'm going to be talking a lot, and then it stepped on my Chinese food container of dice, ow, continued closing the door, and now I'm just more annoyed than anything. Hello for those watching, this is what you got into.
Take it or leave it.
You know, I'm not even going to clean it up, I'll just take the dice off the floor when I need it. Welcome to another session of Legends of Aqquar. We are just gonna run right into it. Now, first of all, I say right into it, and then immediately start saying something. Kuthar's player, unfortunately, will not be joining us for the rest of our campaign, which sucks, so just as a heads up, I don't know why I'm, like, doing a full announcement thing. I thought I should? We're gonna continue on.
So you should be fine.
Yes. So, where we left off last session, the party was beaten and worse for wear, to say the least. As you're lying down, some of you entrapped, some of you just kind of taking in whatever has happened. And you stand in this kind of clearing with this one, like, pedestal almost in the middle. And you have the rubble and the webs before you.
Can y'all hear me fine?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Let me pull up exhaustion.
Fun.
Bandit.
We've established that the purple
Andromeda.
things are just
Not
like glowing
eggs.
spores, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty, I wanted to make sure. Thank you.
The Andromeda is sitting up, currently bandaging her chest.
Oh yeah,
I'm
I don't
just,
even
like,
remember where I was hit.
Taking the blood out of my feathers. It's not my blood. It's like the spider's blood, but like I don't like the blood on my feathers. So yeah.
And I should note, the scar over Andromeda's eye is bleeding. The bandages currently covering her chest are already bloodied.
I'm gonna. I think I have a med kit. Where's my tab?
Andromeda is currently bandaging herself up, but
I don't know how med kits work. That's why I said like I think I have one.
it's
No,
more
I have
of
a mess kit. Sorry.
Don't
Not-
worry, I still
It's more
have
of a
5
welcome
good
thing, less
berries.
of a, I'm damaged.
Don't worry, I still have 5 good berries if we die again.
Yeah.
Or if you get hungry, they make for a great snack.
They do make for good snacks as they count as full meals.
Yep.
It magically
Okay.
fills you up.
They're magically filling.
They're like lembas bread from The Hobbit.
They're like beets.
1 good berry could feed a dragon.
Sure. Oh, I forgot these.
How do you spell exhaustion?
I say The Hobbit like it wasn't the original Lord of the Rings.
EXHAUSTON.
What?
Hmm?
Exhaustion, you're asking how to spell it?
Doesn't it exhaustion have an I?
It does.
I-O-N.
EXHAUSTION.
Okay, I didn't hear the I. So apparently we're just all not on our game today, huh?
See, I was looking
Oh,
at
no,
the
this
thing
is-
because that's like out of all the words I cannot spell, that is the one I'm literally just like, fuck it, I'm using autocorrect.
hmm
Oh, I can never spell exercise.
I usually can't spell on a good day. This is a good day.
Yeah.
Back in elementary school, I was a walking dictionary, and now I can't spell those.
Oh no, I'm still a dictionary. I just can't spell.
You're a dictionary, not a thesaurus. Fuck. You know, words.
Dinosaur.
Words.
Wednesday.
Wednesday, you mean?
Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I just realized we're still playing D&D.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're still live playing D&D. We're into it.
We are playing D&D, currently talking about languages.
Okay, so what y'all gonna do? You're here.
Is there anything
my
down
speed is
here?
currently halved.
Oh yeah,
Not
you have
much.
2 levels.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna like put my swords back out instead of my bow, and I'm gonna go in front of people since I'm like looking kind of
Oh
healthy.
yeah.
Alright, so which way all y'all... Alright, one sec. I need to get the reveal going.
Please. Lean on one of you, please.
Hang on, sorry. Tabs. Ah. Where am I going? Here. Ooh. As soon as I can see
Ace leaves.
Andromeda is
Like,
good.
I'm
I'm just
taking
gonna
the blood out of
follow.
my feathers. I'm good.
And I will be at the back. I guess.
Hobbling your way forward.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. Completely forgot. Need to move.
So like, does it
Mhm.
continue down here or like?
It-
Probably continues down here.
It does continue over to the... Wait, one sec, I gotta do my hand side. To the left. However, as of right now, and this is a very behind-the-screen thing of me saying, I don't have an area there prepared. It seems like it's simply just the regular mine continuing on.
There's no spider webs that way.
Mhm.
I'm like also gonna be like scanning upwards to make sure they're not crawling above us.
Give me a straight intelligence check real quick.
Already have you covered.
Okay, I don't know what my intelligence is, but I rolled a 19.
Yeah,
Oh, my intelligence is 11. That's a +0.
alright, so from what you could tell, if they're not here now, with you guys being injured and injuring a lot of them, they would already be on top of you. So you should be fine.
Hold on, just let me get some cave noises. Uses.
Oh, I have like epic rock music in the background, and it's just like.
You see,
slapping.
I would put music on, but I fear for the copyright gods.
You fear the DMCA?
Yes.
Look up music by Arcane Anthem. Then they're a TikToker who does a lot of like free D&D music.
All right, yeah, sure. For advertisement too.
Yeah.
To the 3 people.
I
One
have
of
my
which
mom's
is
habit of
currently
like being
playing the
a
game.
walking advertiser for things.
Mm-hmm.
Does it look like there's like anything over here?
So that was the spot you got into. It seems like there's a stupid massive web leading in this area. It seems like there is more of the cave that way.
Are these like
Yes,
mites
so they're
going up?
columns where a stalactite met a stalagmite. No, I will not differ or explain which is which, because I do not need to prove
Stalagmites
anything
come up
to
from
you.
the ground. Stalactites go down from the ceiling.
We're using fake words anyway.
I'm going to take your word for it and say that they are just columns.
We are
Anything
using
here?
fake words anyway.
Is this like covering the wall to the like? Columns?
It's less covering the wall and more like stretching, almost like you would like a streamer between the actual wall itself and these columns.
Okay, I'm just gonna like cut it with my swords as I'm going through, so
Is
I
there
don't
anything
get
down?
stuck.
It's a dead end.
Dead end. Okay. So I'm assuming we'd be joining.
Would you
Ace.
be joining Ace?
I think we've discovered everything else.
I'm literally just wandering around now with my swords out, ready to stab bitch.
Okay, so where are my spells? Thunder Smite. Shield of Faith.
I'm also keeping an eye out for anything
Favor. Where
that
is the
isn't us moving.
There it is.
There.
And-
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna have real quick everyone just zoop over to the spot.
Yes, please.
I'm gonna zoop everyone. As a quick thing, Cold, we haven't heard from you. Are you muted?
Yes, they are.
Neat.
Yes, he
Alright.
is.
Just checking. And as we see,
Arthur is very quiet right now.
and as we walk into this opening, the first thing you see is just an absolute matrix of webs. Like, these crisscross, they twist into each other at some point, as almost if it was like some sort of tapestry, like weaving into itself. In the middle, there's kind of like a half wallish kind of deal with cracks showing through, and on the far end, there's some very glowy moss.
I go to pick up some of the glowy moss.
All right, neat.
We can't fly. Are we gonna get caught in these webs?
So even if you fly, these webs are essentially like taking the whole space. We're not in combat now.
Bring them
If
down.
combat were to initiate in this room, everything would count as difficult terrain.
Gotcha.
Oh, I'm like
Okay.
cutting webs as I'm going through,
All right.
just hacking and
Okay.
slashing.
I'm gonna follow.
I just want the glowy moss, okay? Bird brain goes burr.
Ding.
Would anybody be upset if I just burned the webs away?
Preferably when
Not
we
while
leave,
we're in here.
so that we still have oxygen.
Yeah.
Pretty big cave. I don't think we're gonna run out of oxygen that fast.
We
Maybe
can
not
get
while
rid
we're
of
in
the
this
oxygen
section.
around us.
Can I investigate this thing?
Yeah.
And the
Give me
body.
an investigation check.
I'm gonna investigate.
They're looking at the glowy
body.
moss.
Can I
You
make
got the
like a
body?
nature
Okay.
check to make sure it's not poisonous?
Okay, yeah.
Or, like-
So real quick, Nicoletta, investigation. I'll also take either investigation or medicine from Andromeda. And Ace, yeah, I'll get nature from you, please.
Can I help? It's
Body in the chest. I want to look at the glowy moss.
Are you wait, someone's
So
helping
you mean
me?
Nicoletta?
yes.
Arthur?
Can I help
Yep.
Nicoletta?
Okay. So is that advantage?
Yes, that is advantage on your
Oh,
investigation.
thank God.
Oh, thank God, I'm dumb as hell.
That didn't
14.
Son of a bitch. 6
I
plus.
got a 14.
Oh, you were rolling separately. Okay.
I have not rolled.
Rolling investigation.
I am so confused who's rolling
medicine.
who.
So, okay,
Arthur
Nicoletta.
is helping
on the court.
Nicoletta.
Yeah, Nicoletta gets investigation with advantage.
Okay.
Andromeda, what was that? Medicine and or investigation?
14.
All right. And then Ace, your nature.
17. He
Alright.
needs to go grab laundry though.
So I am sorry, that is a 6
All right.
Oh,
for
God.
investigation.
So
I rolled a 3 and a 6, and I have a +0.
going from highest to lowest, Ace, as you're looking at this moss, you haven't had much
here right
experience with kind of
AFK.
Ace is not here right now.
neat.
Got
So
it.
I'll go
Yeah.
immediately to Andromeda then, because I don't have Discord sounds on. Wee.
All good.
No,
We'll let
it's
you know.
fine.
Yeah. So Andromeda,
That's why we're letting you know.
was this investigation or medicine? Medicine, right? I'm assuming.
Medicine.
So you're looking at this body, and it seems somewhat skeletal. There's still like kind of wispy chunks of flesh, but overall, it seems like whatever this creature was, probably a dwarf from the size of the body. It was most likely killed like all the other bodies you found in the Montibus, what was the hospital, and had to be converted into a mortuary. Very similar wounds and markings. You could more or less chalk it up to these spider creatures.
Okay.
Nicoletta?
What did I miss?
Just me saying the body seems to be in line with the spider creature's MO.
Okay.
Okay.
Nicoletta, looking at this chest, it seems like it was moved not recently. It doesn't look like it should be here. That's all I'm going to give you.
What does it look like? Does it
It's more of like a practical square box with there's no real like lining or trim on it. It's just kind of a dark wood box with a latch on it. Ace, you don't have a massive amount of expertise when it comes to lichens and mosses, especially the ones that grow underground. What you can tell, it doesn't seem to be poison and more just a funky plant.
Okay, I'm just gonna harvest some and put some in my bag then.
Yeah, add
we're getting
funky
some funky
moss
plants.
into your inventory.
Is there a lock on the box? Chest?
The chest is not locked.
I'm gonna open it.
So opening the chest
Careful.
up, you find what seems to be mining equipment. In the chest there is two things. There looks like some sort of like extraction tool by hand. It seems like some sort of pickaxe, only with like a broader like pick. You also see runes kind of scratched into it with the dwarvish script. Next to the pickaxe, there's multiple bags. And if you open them, you find a very similar powder to the ones you found in the minecart.
Wait, powder from the mine cart. Breaking up my notes.
What color is it?
So, yeah, if you would recall, when the overturned minecart was searched through, there was half the jacket from a finch, and a small bag with some, it looked like less than half of some sort of fine powder.
A greenish purple.
Greenish purple fine
Purplish
powder.
green, yeah. I was looking for the session. It was in.
And
I
this
do not know what it is though.
this chest contains 3 full bags of it.
Ooh. What session are we on? 9.
And do any of y'all speak Dwarvish?
Nope.
Pretty sure that's no.
Not on my side. I think the only person that did is no longer here.
Yep.
If you want Goblin, Leonin, Common, Orn, or a Cocker, I got you, but I do not have Dwarven.
Celestial or Primordial?
Common and primordial.
Just expansive bunch of linguists
Yeah.
we are.
Yeah, we have some rare languages, just not the right type of rare
Yeah.
language.
So
Dwarvish isn't rare.
there's a small like
That's the
carving
problem.
into the wood itself at the bottom of the chest where the 3 bags are. It doesn't look like a massive amount of text. It seems like just a few characters. But you guys are not able to read.
If you take the box up,
The sign can't stop me, because I can't read.
Jared,
should
19.
you take the box up?
And what are the runes on the? You said it was a pickaxe
Yes.
ish thing.
Well, first of all, they are in Dwarvish, so that will not help any of you read it to kind of get an ascertain a reason for them. If anyone would like to give me an Arcana or a History check, you are welcome to do so on this pickaxe.
Sure.
Not too bad.
Why
That's
the
not
hell
too bad. A nice 17.
A nice clean 17 from Arthur.
A nice 14 for me.
What's my Arcana? 0. Perfect.
Yeah, I more rolled to see what I would get, not that it would really apply to me. So
2.
Alrighty. So with that 17, you kind of get from this pickaxe, it seems to be a, how do I describe this? These runes seem to somehow empower this thing. From your best guess, this, what could be very generously described as a war pick, can be used to not necessarily melt, but heat up in order to easily take ores.
sorry.
Okay, I'm not dead yet.
Mm-hmm.
Does what does this powder smell like? Like I'm not gonna like put it up to my face, but like, is there any
You're
scent coming from
sniffing
it?
it.
No, I'm not sniffing it. I'm like,
There
like,
isn't a
like
really
any sort
like
of
prevailing smell to it. It's not like pungent or anything. The best way to describe it is almost like a moist sand. Like there's no real like discernible smell, but there's just a very slight like change.
is it like moon sand, or that's just the scent?
Disgusting.
So very kind of beachy, I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
That's not
So
how you
should
spell that.
we bring this box up to the people?
I will carry it and follow anybody because I'm just gonna run out real quick.
Yep.
Like IRL. I'll be right back.
Got it.
So yes, I just follow the
So
group.
I guess we are going back to the entrance, right? I think we have everything.
Is that the plan?
Thing.
Ace Arthur?
Unless anyone has any objections.
I don't think so, because it feels like we explored everything, so I think we can probably start heading out.
Jeez.
I really should have superglued my phone. Alright, yes. In that case, if everyone's going to go make their way back to the lift, we will make our way out of Montibus's mines.
Cool. While we're leaving, I'm lighting all of the webs on fire.
Yeah.
I'm making sure to be in front of everyone, far away from the fire.
That is reasonable. So as the lift is going up,
Andromeda is limping away.
So as the lift is going up, Arthur's just setting fire to these webs, and I'm assuming either Nicoletta by herself or Nicoletta and Andromeda would be cranking it up. And we go back to the surface.
Nice.
Now, going out of the mine of Montibus, there isn't much that would really say anything about how long or really any notice of your not being there. It's almost as if nothing exactly really went on in the town. There's no commotion, no massive like crowds or anything.
It's only been a day.
You just kind of walk out, solving their problem in a single day.
Oh, two, kinda. Time's funky.
Time is funky.
Time is relative.
No, time is funky.
Same difference.
Yeah.
So as you guys get out of the mine, what is the first thing you were doing?
I'm just gonna fly around a little bit to get fresh air.
Yep. Some long-awaited
I'm back.
just movement. All right.
I'm gonna go lay down somewhere.
That is reasonable. Nicoletta, the party has made their way fully out of the mine. You're back on Montibus' streets.
Cool.
Andromeda takes like 20 steps and then just face plants into the dirt.
Honestly, reasonably.
Okay.
Oh.
Sorry.
While Andromeda's recovering, I'm gonna
You're gonna what?
Yeah, you cut out a
cut my
bit.
book open and start reading.
You're gonna. I'm really sorry. You're. Either I'm
Start
deaf or
reading?
you're cutting out.
No, I'm probably having bad mic issues. While Andromeda's recovering, I'm gonna just take a seat somewhere and crack my book open.
All right.
There we go. I'm gonna put the crate down and help Andromeda up so she's not just lying on the ground.
Yeah,
in
that'd
the
be
middle
nice.
of the road. And then
she would have taken steps off the road.
still, statement still stands. I'm gonna help her up. And do we haven't really had a place to set up, do we?
Not necessarily. You guys essentially
Like other than the boat.
went. You have the boat, and otherwise you more or less went straight into the mine after arriving at Montibus's port.
Yeah.
Oh, what time is it right now?
When you get out of the mine, it's roughly been just under 24 hours, so like a good 6 at night-ish.
I'm gonna go ahead and eat a ration.
All right. So you just kind of.
Mouse? What the fuck?
If you ate any of the good berries within the last day, they will fill you up for a day.
There are still good berries. I've had 3 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, your stomach is probably not doing well.
Oh no,
It's
it doesn't
fine, it's magic
fill
or
you to
something.
bursting. It just magically fills you to full. It wouldn't do
No,
more.
it magically
if you
But
had
there's
some
still
berries.
some,
being able to sustain
weird
yourself.
implications of being magically full 3 times.
No, not full, sustained.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Sure. Anywho. So, Arthur just kind of sits back, cracks open his book, and starts eating. It's essentially exactly like lembas bread. It's these rations delivered by the military are essentially like
Stale as hell bread.
yeah,
and
unleavened, like stale as hell bread that's made particularly for the express purpose of being space efficient and staying
Keeping me alive.
yeah, keeping you alive, being space efficient, and if possible, not going bad.
Yeah, edible is still questionable.
Edible is still questionable.
remaining edible
I'm
for
gonna bring-
as long as possible.
I'm gonna bring Andromeda to the whatever sort of medical tent I can see.
Yeah, so they have the current clinic open up in Montibus, which, for reference, Montibus isn't a massive, massive town. Looking around, it's essentially like 4 or 5 streets in one direction with another one crossing through all of them. It's mainly known purely for the mine. The only real reason it's like considered to be more than just a settlement or a village is because it's almost purely government owned and run.
Alrighty.
So the clinic, it's not hard to find. It's the one building with like a red kind of terracotta looking like roof. And as you bring Andromeda in, I'm assuming you're just going like one hand over the shoulder, like helping them along.
Yeah. I'll have the chest in the other hand.
So as
Or under the other arm.
yep. So as you bring her in, you see the doctor there, who's a different one from last time, because I know you talked to one, and I do not remember their names, and I'm not gonna try.
We talked to a doctor?
Yeah, yes. Because I remember explicitly that we had somebody talk to you about how they only found a body in 2 different places. So, this kind of physician walks up to you. It's kind of like a pale blue toga kind of deal going on. Just kind of looks at Andromeda for a sec. Looks at all the beds that are currently filled with remains and white sheets over them. Panics, kind of does a kind of double take of turning around, grabs one of these sheets off the better looking remains and kind of like drapes it on the floor, kind of like, get her down, get her down.
I follow the instructions.
So like, this physician like helps you like lower Andromeda down. Looks over. I mean, okay, first aid was fairly effective, I'll give it that. And starts to look over Andromeda. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Andromeda's chest and eye are bandaged to hell.
Yes, since a lot of the bandages were bled through, it was a full change, and the physician man, very much panicked as soon as he took off your dirtied bandage to try and like reapply, hopefully clean out the wound itself, purely because the amount and speed of the bleeding.
And the, very visible lattice work of opened scars.
It appears to the regular person that you are essentially cracking apart from afar. And
And they are relatively shallow.
alright. This physician that you learn, his name is Marcos. Just kind of like patches you up, panics a bit once more. You, and points at Nicoletta. Do you know where, Lenore said she would be?
No.
Okay.
We only just got out of the mines.
Alright, yeah, we did not expect you back this early. And he kind of, make sure she doesn't bleed more, and I'll try and find her. And he walks out of the building.
Sorry, what race was he?
This was a Leonin man.
Okay. Thank you. There we go.
And before long, Arthur and Ace, you also see the dwarven woman moving, like the dwarven woman, moving towards the clinic that you guys recognize as Lenore Gannel. Kind of curly black wavy hair, like olive colored skin, walking in through, not exactly like a hurried
Back again,
stance.
sorry.
No problem. Not exactly a hurried stance, but definitely like a important business, all this is what I'm doing, very sure of itself.
Do you need any help?
Are you directing this at her in particular?
Yeah.
She kind of looks back. You're here now, yes. I'm gonna need a debrief as soon as possible.
When we went into the mines, we found these Drider-like creatures. And we cleared them out.
Why the hell are Drider this far?
Do you know, like, what centaurs are?
No, I understand what Drider are. I'm saying they shouldn't nearly be this close to the surface.
Yeah. And I didn't know they were, like, up this north of the continent. I know there's a few in the Aeolian Mountains, like, buried, but, like, they never... It'd be, like, once a decade that one might come up.
Certain... Well, it's hard to
There are a
explain.
few corpses near the entrance of the cave.
Of course there was. Alright.
No, I mean, out of character. There are still some of those spider corpses near the entrance
Oh,
of
yeah,
the
no,
cave.
we left a lot.
Yeah.
The ones that weren't burned below.
Yes.
Yeah. We tried to clean up as much as possible when we left.
Alright, that's good.
By clean up, he meant he burned down all the webs.
I'm happy with that.
This is Arthur.
Yeah, that's great if we could take down whatever structures, infrastructure, whatever the hell you want to call it, down. I mean, they're less likely to come back, right?
Either they're gonna be way more pissed. One of the two.
Let's hope you got them all. Alright. And continuing right into the clinic, Mr. Marcos is now like going over a desk, just real quick, jotting down some notes. And Andromeda, you see Lenore walking with the rest of the party.
Hello.
Well, you look like shit.
It's fine. It's not the first time.
Not sure whether
Spiders
to be impressed or
especially targeted
concerned.
them.
A bit of both.
Alright. So what exactly happened?
Spiders, they're dead now, maybe.
That doesn't explain a lot.
Big fuckers too with daggers. Oh.
I'm back, sorry.
Pretty sure the Driders took over the mines, killed all of the workers, or at least most of them. Yeah, there was a lot of blood.
It was smeared
Unfortunate.
everywhere.
Yeah, it looked kind of ritualistic, not gonna lie.
They could speak that much, I know.
They could
No.
cast magic. Which goes with the speaking part.
Okay.
Hmm.
That's
They were at
incredibly
least
more
mildly
concerning.
Intelligent.
No, so you're talking about like this one like ritual room you guys found? Yeah, it like with all the glowy water, it's no longer glowing, so that might be something to worry about.
It is. It Triton teleportation. Midway.
You mean the room I very specifically told none of my miners to touch because I don't want to mess around with weird magics?
Yes.
And you
fine,
messed
it is
around
no
with weird
longer magical.
magics.
Hey, at least
It's
no more magic
fine.
running is through it.
It's fine. It's where we got him.
Oh yes, you're new here. And she turns towards Arthur.
Speaking of, can we get someone that speaks Dwarvish to look at that pickaxe?
Oh yes, I could do that. And she kind of show me what you have.
I show her the box and the.
What did you call it? The war pick?
Yes. So, the box opens and she looks down at the box, over at the bags, over at Nicoletta. What made you think to bring the explosives?
They were
Absolute
explosives.
Oh, this is for explosives. Okay, cool.
I'm taking like at least a good 15 feet steps away.
No, it's not immediately dangerous. It's the workers call it a spark powder. It's a slang. It's there's certain ores when mixed together and added a couple fungi in it, are extremely combustible. Yes, thank you. When exposed to fire, we use it as a kind of way of taking out sheer rock. Poke a hole in the wall, shove the powder in, at least loosen up the earth.
Yeah, I'm still just gonna keep my distance. I
Okay,
can't
so
have my feathers burned. That'd be bad.
now I need to ask, what happens if you use that to hit something that is not a rock?
I mean, we've never exactly tried it. I mean,
Please don't.
If it's effective, your miners might be able to defend themselves against the Driders if they come to attack again.
I mean,
I'd be more likely to just send the cave trunk crumbling down.
depending on how much you use and how, we're gonna have to work a lot of things out if you're trying to say what you're trying to say.
Do you have any wizards?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you have any wizards?
Oh, two, not many spellcasters here, just people looking for work.
Okay. Have them maintain alarms for a little while, if you can.
Oh, yeah, I'll get on that. For the meantime, should I send word back to Ostium, or are you simply going to just...
Probably be your messenger there,
Alright.
if it is a person.
Well, I thank you for your help. If you must stay at least the night.
I think that would be for the best.
Yes,
We did end up. Sorry. Side note: we did end up like completely clearing the mine of spiders, right? Like we.
as
searched
far
it.
as you know, yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure if we
Any
had went through.
foundations they built is burnt up to ash.
Oh, you did burn everything. Okay.
Yep, as you were going
On the
up
way out.
the lift.
Like a true spellcaster, he burned everything down to the ground.
Yep.
Yes, with a torch, because I don't have fire spells.
Yep. I'm assuming
Well,
like what I imagined was essentially putting a torch and not exactly like straight dropping it because there's almost like a damp water pool, but more or less like prestidigitationing it to just like scatter sparks. That thaumaturgy, whatever works really.
Sense. Okay.
poison spray to just
Corrode everything.
fire breather.
I just realized I don't really need a tinder box. I can just pull out a torch and press a digitation of fire onto said torch.
Yep.
Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
No,
Prestidigitation
poison
is
trigger, it's a
insane.
Gas.
You can just light or
You
snuff
want it
out a
to be
fire.
flammable.
Prestidigitation is like a Swiss Army knife for spellcasters.
Yeah.
If you can get it, you generally do.
Hmm. So,
Yeah.
as
No.
we start settling down in Montibus for the night, does anyone have anything they want to do?
Prestidigitation for graffiti.
Sorry?
I'm sorry.
And you can use prestidigitation for graffiti that lasts an hour.
Huh.
Nice.
This
Yeah.
is true.
So, settling down for the night in essentially it was the workers' kind of dormitory. However, there is conveniently a couple beds empty. Lenore kind of hold you up over there. Before we skip to the morning, would we like to do anything, inquire about anything in the town?
So
Ace
we're
is
just-
gonna like clean off all the dust that went onto the egg, and just like after cleaning it off, like put new wax on. Gotta protect the egg.
Classic egg maintenance.
Andromeda's just gonna keep lying down in the medical center.
I was gonna say
Yes.
if it stays in the medical center, I'm just gonna stick with her.
Arthur?
I don't.
I'm gonna go to a library, if that's at all possible.
Yeah, there's a small library in the area. Much of the kind of tomes there sadly aren't in any legible language that you know, since it is mainly a Dwarven and Goliath community. But there is a couple common scrolls and such there. It's not even 2 stories. Like, essentially, it's a small bookshop that you would see in downtown. Only the town isn't there, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I was mostly trying to see if I can find anything on Primordial.
Yeah, alright. So you head over to the kind of librarian working there. He nods at your approach. This seems to be a Goliath man with like white braided hair going like well over his shoulder, almost like below his collarbone. Kind of like rugged, wrinkly eyes. He seems to be roughly like just on his last like decade or so on the scale of Goliaths. And he just kind of wordlessly nods.
Afternoon, morning. Nice to meet you, sir.
Evening.
I was wondering if you could help me out.
What can I do you for?
Looking for a particular book of interest to me. Do you have anything on primordial creatures or any such books?
I'll have to look. I can't think of any on the top of my head, but and he
Not a problem at all.
he kind of turns not exactly hobbles, but he has a slight limp to his right as he leaves. This is still a straight up like 7-foot Goliath man though. He comes back not long after, maybe like 2-3 minutes. I don't have anything on primordials exactly, but I did find this, and he kind of puts on the counter a papyrus scroll. Each ends with like an orangey wood. It seems to be more on elementals. That's close to primordials, but not the big shots.
That works for me.
Can I expect it back, or would you like to buy it?
How long are we gonna be in town?
Out of
Estimate
character?
for how long we'll be in town.
I'd like to leave as soon as possible, but that might be 2 days.
How much to buy it?
Let's call it a silver.
Yeah, that's not a problem. Yeah, I'll give him a silver piece.
Thank you. And he kind of like just immediately puts the coin into his pocket. Good luck in your pursuit of knowledge. And he
Thank you, sir.
kind of sits leaning onto the a kind of like side desk as you walk out.
May your business do well.
And he again just nods to you.
Try to meet up.
All right. So meeting up, the workers' dorm. It's a very it's essentially a full stoned building, like massive quarry stones, wooden posts only being at the corners and across to actually establish a floor. It's only like 2 levels, nothing massive, and your beds are on the 2nd floor. Each of which is like more of a cot, like just barely more than a cot, with a box on the foot of the bed, and a night table, which is just like an oak, simple 4-legged. It's almost a stool more than anything. And if there's nothing else to do, we are going to skip a peaceful night into the next day. Everyone that needs it, long rest.
Yay! I lose 1 level of
Yay.
exhaustion. And get all my spell slots back. And get all my lay on hands back.
I get my favorite foe and spells back.
Now, waking up in Montibus, everyone rises to their surprisingly comfortable cot, save Andromeda, who is still just in the middle of the floor of the clinic.
Oh, it's on a bed. I thought she was on a bed, on a cot.
No, she decided to stay in the clinic, and there's still preparations needing to be made for ceremonies and graves, and they have literally nowhere else to put it. And they're like,
Gotcha.
"You're stable, you'll be fine."
Yeah.
I suck with her.
All right. So waking up, yeah, there's a bright, kind of weirdly angled sun that moves its way up, just over the mountains, shining through windows, basically getting easily Andromeda right in the face, with the kind of like floor angle you're at. It's a new day. It's a hot day. And a lot of things need to be done.
Andromeda removes her bandages.
Yeah, you remove your bandages.
Wounds are sealed.
Sealed is a way of putting it, yes.
They're not opening again.
They're not actively opening. You do still have, not necessarily like a bubbling there, but it's almost like,
They're still very fresh.
yeah, it's the first kind of stages of a scar or scab starting to form over your eye. And at this point, your chest has had so many wounds that it's kind of like just calloused is a good way of saying it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And Dr. Let's call him Doctor, because I don't know what else to call him. Dr. Marcos kind of opens the door of the clinic, starting his day. Looks over to Andromeda. I'm assuming you're good to go?
Yeah. I assume you'll be wanting to bury these people?
Yes, we've had the Undertaker, just recently get stuff more or less in order. We still have had trouble IDing some for the families, but it's happening. Alright, well, he kind of walks over to his desk again, pulls out one of the drawers, and just kind of searches through it for a second, and takes out a couple small, like, triangular wrapped medicines. Goes over to Andromeda. Now, I'm not an expert at Triton bodies.
No, this is not normal, if this is what you are asking.
Yes, so I tried to do some research. I've gotten this worked up last night, and I've had it for a while, actually. And he hands you these, it's,
Sorry, BRB.
it's 6, different, like, medicines. And he explains that, hopefully, if you want to, I'm not sure if there's any, like, side effects going with it, if some sort of bleeding like that happens again, these should slow your heart rate somewhat, so that the blood won't be insanely hard to manage, if you're willing to take them.
That sounds incredibly useful. Thank you very much.
He just kind of nods. Now, I didn't prepare too much. I'm not sure exactly how often you get planned on being mortally wounded.
It's not mortal. It's old wounds.
Back.
Old wounds that are hard to heal, for sure.
That's one way to put it.
Alright. Well,
Thank you so much.
it's all I can try.
This never happens again. Others were
What did I miss?
off the kill.
Nothing much, just Marcos, giving Andromeda some meds to slow her heart rate in case there's another massive bleeding like this. To,
Oh.
not bleed so massively.
Fair enough, fair enough.
And with that, he goes to his desk and starts filling out some forms. Arthur, were you reading through the scroll during the rest, or what's up with
I'll
that?
start reading it once I get like the opportunity to just like not be bothered and just read through it meticulously.
Alright, yeah, so from what you could get, it's definitely in the common language, but from what it seems like, it's more of like an old Leonin dialect, more than anything, which is the common, quote-unquote, language of the Empire. So it's essentially like Old English, the way you're reading it. Some bits are a bit like hard to translate in your brain, to kind of like fully understand, but it seems like
It's like reading Beowulf.
yeah, it's talking more about the concept of what makes an elemental different from any sort of other aberration and any other kind of being of magic. And there's a weird kind of, you're not sure if it's a metaphor or literal, but it's talking about how they're chaos and order at the same time. How they can be so chaotic and wild while also being simple and also being like a construction.
Okay. Well, that's good information for future use.
And with that, we were told, or yeah, I heard earlier, it's going to be 2 days till you leave. So, is there anything you want to do for this next day before we set sail again?
I'm just gonna stock up on my berry collection in case we need more good berries.
All right, yeah. Uh, the area around Montibus, it's not insanely rich with this kind of natural berries and bushes and forests. So what you can get, it's more of off the generosity of a couple gardeners. There's a gnome couple that kind of sees you looking around on the edge of town on their farm, and they just kind of like gesture towards their kind of bushel.
I just like wave and like thank them.
And that is that. Yeah. Shopping, anyone? Or shall we just, like...
No.
I'm doing a motion, and I always do motions. It's been a year and a half since I started playing D&D online. You would think I would have, like, gotten, a hint of, hey, stop.
No,
I've
I still do
only
the same
done
thing.
online D&D, and I'm like waving my hands everywhere.
No, yeah, that's the thing. That's the exact same thing.
Yeah, same.
The amount of times
Actually,
I've
the
leaned
only
on
way
the
to do it.
table with the exact posture I try the NPCs to do. And I'm like, wait a second, this means nothing.
No shopping for me. I'm a tad poor.
It's sometimes like that.
I'm ready to hit the boat running.
Alright. So it's another calm afternoon. The winds aren't horrible, even though you're on a lake and some river, so it's not going to be too much until you fully hit Siniscus Lake. And we are just going to set off immediately.
Before that, I should mention, during that day, Andromeda did take the captain out for a jog.
Of course, yes. Nice Captain Walkies.
Sure.
So, we are going to, unless anyone has any business, either in between, on Orbis or Ostium, or like physically before then, I am planning to just straight up skip to a debrief with your main peeps. Does anyone have any objections to that?
Okay.
No,
Can I
good.
just make a note that on the way back, Ace is gonna capture fish and just feed them to Apostrophe?
Yeah, alright. Especially from catching the fish the last time on your way there, you kind of know how fish around those parts act, more or less.
Hold on.
I'm getting proficient
Before you
at
feed
fish
one of the
catching.
fish to the captain, Andromeda like takes a live one and pours some of the potion onto it,
Alright.
Oh yeah.
just to show Arthur what it does.
Yeah, okay,
Okay, so we found these potions that were marketed as a cure-all, and just watch this.
and as Andromeda tips this kind of, there's kind of different types of glasses. This one's more like what you would originally find like a whiskey, so it's like a flat rectangle with a rounded top. Pours it over the fish, this red, swirling, almost glittery liquid, just kind of, as soon as it makes contact with the fish, it starts like expanding, and you, up close, you start to hear almost like, not ripping sounds, but not fun sounds, as the fish literally has its body expand at an exponential rate, and the longer you pour, the more it starts to just grow outwards.
I just like raised both my arms and wings.
How
Yes,
long
another
is it?
big fish.
Big fish.
Big fish.
Look at this. I think a snail had some of it, and that was fucking wild. That was what was attached to the boat, by the way.
We also caused someone to grow an arm from their elbow.
Oh yeah, that was not fun.
Well, not fun for them.
Arguably not fun for anyone involved, but okay.
No, it was disgusting.
It was a
We
little
forgive
bit
some
funny though.
fish.
So, as we pass Orbis, the big fish and apostrophe fish, which I pray to God are separate fishes,
Oh, yes.
just as a side thing.
Didn't we eat the last big fish?
You did, and nothing happened. But that's not the point.
Just in case.
Well, I'm not
Don't
gonna
need
let
a
a fish
giant
go to
cat.
waste. I'll eat the giant fish.
So,
If Apostrophe doesn't.
alright. So as we're passing Orbis, unsurprisingly, after another week, the city is once again lit up with another festival, which nobody can remember, not even the people living there.
I
Can
wonder
vouch,
why.
can vouch. And I work there, can vouch.
Yep. you work in the food industry there. You get the worst end of it.
It's a blur, honestly.
In the food industry, you never know what time of the year it is.
Oh no.
Yep.
Demand a refund. He didn't get
I'm
nearly
getting
as drunk as I
flashbacks.
intended to.
And
Your booze was supposed to knock me out. I want a refund.
yeah, I was promised to be blackout
It's your
drunk after
conscience.
2 shots, but it took me 4. Alright, so we're going to speed by the town and go back to our government-sanctioned dock.
Hooray, we brought your boat back. Hooray.
With only slight scratches.
And you see
Eh,
the
in fact, it
Leon
might
in
be
there.
cleaner.
This is the Leon in there, more, spelled with an S. Just kind of like crosses his arm. He's like,
Yes.
I am surprised that it's. Yeah, I expected worse. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. Like, I expected half of this boat to be gone.
That was certainly
I
an
mean-
option.
It almost
I mean,
happened.
I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, like, the amount of times I've had to replace a boat because some idiot decides, hey, we're gonna use it for a mission and not go the long way around, and then I never see that boat again.
I thought you meant like the
The
crew.
long way around?
No.
Oh,
Not the
Also
actual
that,
crew.
but you, I mean, yes. Look, I'm just gonna, and you see he he starts reeling in the ropes, tying stuff up. All right, I suppose you're gonna head to Ostium then.
He's...
Well, good luck. Good job, I guess, too. It's only been, what, 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Not even?
Only minimal,
A week,
sections.
a week there, a week back, not even a couple days.
And we, let's see, we dismantled a fake medicine operation.
Yeah, like this stuff can make you grow arms on your arms.
Fun. Yeah,
The size of a gnome.
Well, I think we need to get going.
uh-huh.
Have a good day.
You too. And he just kind of watches you go as you move to the. I know, and this is not
We're bringing that stuff with us, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's not an accurate representation whatsoever of that spot. It's roughly like a 2-hour walk to the dock. It is more like there than anything. So walking into Ostium, it's been a hot sec. It's almost been past the day part of this month. You're looking through. Nothing major has changed, save for one important detail. there is a new, almost like wooden pavilion smack dab in the middle of the road. And
That better not be a Jason Diaz pavilion.
surrounding it, you notice a couple people that were also in your orientation for the Telenomus sect of the military.
Yeah, what is going on over there?
Sorry, I know that's loud.
No problem.
No, it's fine.
Oh, you said it's a new section for the Telenomus?
So
Like a
you
new-
guys are part of the Telenomus sect. That's why your daggers
Yeah.
at the pommel have a T emblazed into it.
Mm-hmm.
These are the people you recognize from
Gotcha.
the orientation.
Gotcha.
Orientation. Ah yes, as new hires to this company,
You act like that wasn't the first like hour and a half of session 1.
Yeah.
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 Oh wait, did we get paid?
We get paid monthly, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, it's 20 gold a month. Plus spoils of victory, so.
Yep.
I was just wondering if we got paid.
I
Not
gave
quite.
away, like,
Okay.
So as a quick
And then-
timeline,
yeah.
because I have not fully explained the calendar, which is weird.
A wizard did it.
Yes, a wizard did it. So essentially, the calendar works in the same 12-month process that Earth's calendar does. However, the months are essentially twice as long, which each month having a day and a night, or a dawn or a dusk. Some people say it's semantics. One of which is more warmer, drier weather. The other, it's more wet, cold. You can see a theme going. You guys were hired in the fourth of the, I believe it was the grassy dawn.
Wait, so months and so years in this world are 2 years.
Yes, it's the equivalent of 2 years, which
Holy shit.
means that
so would
seasons
I have,
go
like,
on
cut
for
my
a
lifespan in
while.
half?
Sorry?
Should I, like, redo my character's age then?
Oh, this is how
No,
your
no.
character
Or just,
did.
like-
Year- Years are years. Do not get that wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, no, this is how we're
Like, I'm not gonna cut your lifespan in half. Do not worry about it.
It's
means
just
elves
in
are
sense
older
of
than they let
seasons, it's
on.
basically everything's doubled in
Yeah,
sense of
it's to the perspective of everyone else. That's how it works. So currently,
Just, like, the
It's
30
the-
year of an Aqquar would have been a little, like, shortened.
60.
yeah.
And this is why 30 years is a long time for you.
So, as of right now, it's starting to go into the later end of the grassy dawn, almost moving into the dusk. So, I'm assuming people are going to approach the pavilion.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I'm actually just
Yeah, I
gonna
will.
walk home. I'm going back to Orbis. See ya.
Yeah, alright, yeah, I quit. Cool.
Do you imagine
We all
that?
just, like, we met giant spiders, we turn in our resignations, I just fly home.
Yep.
No
Can you
one,
imagine that's the end of the
No one
campaign?
That's it. Alright, thank you for showing up. We've had a whole 9 sessions.
sessions.
we made it to level 2. Peace.
And be
Yeah.
an animated gazebo.
I mean,
Don't.
I mean, that literally happened with one of the characters that I played.
I want to hear that story after the game. Alright.
Oh,
Uh-huh,
I mean,
uh-huh.
This is what happened to Kuthar.
You were there for that game.
Wait, was it? Okay, now I really want to hear this story. Uh,
Month injury.
we will go.
Investigation on the gazebo.
We will go over it during our break in like
After a
30-ish
while.
minutes.
Yeah,
So-
Now I'm just imagining, like, Kuthar canonically just stopped at Orbis and just continued drinking. Like, here, hand my resignation in for me.
Look, I have left it under suspicious and vague circumstances. However you want to interpret that can be interpreted.
He got drunk.
That's up to
Yeah,
you.
wrong.
So, as we walk up to this pavilion, it's a rough like wooden structure, holding up this triangular roof. It's less of a gazebo and more like, a good way of saying it, it's more of like a shelter. Simply from the rain and weather conditions. It's not massive, just maybe like a 20 by 30, so 20 foot wide, and then it goes for another 30 feet. And under this pavilion, there is two things that mainly catch your eye. One, there is a kind of three-sided board, like a triangular board with stilts in the middle of it. Each of which are kind of like plastered with papers. And the second thing is the quartermaster, Adabasti de Royne, the elven man that you briefly talked to before leaving, is currently like nailing a pretty like thick leather like writing script onto one of these boards.
What is this place?
And sorry, you said this was at the gazebo?
It's a pavilion in the middle of Ostium.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, what is this place?
Must be the
Adabasti
Message
turns
board?
to you. For a recap, this is a very like muscular elven gentleman. He's got a kind of scar going from his on top of his shoulder across his like blacksmithing apron over to his hip area. He looks at you. Oh, you just came back from your mission, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, to save for paperwork on everyone involved, the probation missions for the Teladamus sect have concluded just now. You were the last group to come in. So, now we have all the things that need to be done around the Empire right on here. And he kind of like taps the board with an open hand. We let the sects now pick whatever they want to do.
Oh God, no.
If you want,
I have
you could follow up with Ro.
option.
You are essentially the fixers of this realm, right? Go ahead and fix something.
Sorry,
As long
what's
as
the
we don't let
term?
me
Is
choose
this
the
a report?
cops.
What's the term for this basically? It's a
I call it a
Novel?
pavilion.
no, the what he was
Quest board.
sure.
Yeah, he's going around the word quest in particular. You're not sure if it's because he was like told like, well, we don't want to give anyone any ideas, or like,
It's a job board then.
yeah, he more or less calls it like, this is the requisite pavilion. Anyone?
Requisite
It's a job board.
So essentially, anything that needs to be done that's sent to any of our representatives is put on here, and if it doesn't get done within 2 months, we bring it in and get someone to do it.
Interesting.
What's up there right now?
So looking at the board, there's not a massive amount of stuff as of right now, including the leather, kind of like, it's hard to explain. It's like a cured leather papyrus almost thing. Essentially what would be like a book end, like like the same texture as a bookend at this time period. So there is Adabasti's kind of thing there. There's also 4 other sheets on this side, each one with a brief overview, no titles or anything or pictures, a brief overview, an expecting of what it seems like some of them have like flat items or gold, and others say a percentage of commission.
Ooh.
It's essentially a mixed bag. There's roughly 4 on the one that you can see right now, Adabastes. There's another one that seems to be written in a very fine, like, flowing print, that's signed General Crave. There's the other 2, one of which has the stamp of what seems to be the Natam city, which is it's a fish with a trident going through it vertically. And then the final one is it seems like a private sector one. It's only signed Aria.
First, I feel
Sorry.
like we should check in with someone.
Your handler Ro?
Yeah, him. Anyone in the higher ups, actually. But whatever.
The quartermaster kind of pipes up. Everyone should be still in the map room of the mausoleum if you want.
Alright, to there.
And he kind of goes around continuing to do his thing.
Sorry.
So, with all this...
You know how you said that you kept gesticulating while
Yes.
even knowing that it was
Yes.
an online game?
Uh-huh.
I just raised my hand in the air with a finger up, just like, to there!
To be completely honest, I completely pictured it. Never seen each
Yeah,
other.
I
I
figured.
completely pictured
I
it.
know, right?
Figured.
Or like, I did the exact same thing with pointing out where the scar was. And I'm like, you know, from here to here, shit.
Eventually, we'll get big enough where we can get a sponsor to, like, have us meet up to play a game. That'll be fine.
Across 2 countries and a bunch of time
Oh, yeah.
zones. Yeet.
Yeah, it'll be great.
We'll meet up
All
somewhere
of
in the
us will be
middle,
so
somewhere in
tired.
like Vermont or Maine or something.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Maybe Michigan.
I don't know.
Alright, so...
Oh, we're disasters.
Of course. So, with all this new information put in front of you, what exactly are you gonna do with it?
We're going to go see our boss.
Alright.
Okay, I have a quick question. I have a note that literally in Ostium, the session 1, it's in Ostium, few spaces, General Crave.
Mhm.
That is all I have. On them. And then the
He's
telema.
a Leonin.
They are Leonin. Yes. May I say, I have just as much, if not less, notes than you.
I just couldn't remember why I put it down,
Hey.
whether it was just to keep track of names
I
or not.
stopped writing notes after a while.
Look, so we have all of these, VODs up on the YouTube channel, hopefully a day or 2
Thank you,
afterwards. You know, plug. So yeah, I just watch those typically afterwards.
See, I
Literally
can't
like
write them
the
down,
day
but
of, just so I remember exactly what we're doing.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I've been.
That's fair.
He's
Yes.
the miniature in the lore channel.
Yep. General Crave is miniature in the
What?
lore channel. A bunch of stuff I could go into as a lore dump. I may or may not do that on our break. However, so we're going to continue doing our deal. So as you walk up to this mausoleum, it's the biggest building in Ostium, in this city of armor. And it looks fairly... It's almost like the Parthenon, if you've seen stuff like a recreation of it. So there's a triangle, like elongated roof with multiple like chiseled columns with various designs going down, a bunch of steps, like roughly like 20, going up to the actual platform floor of it. And as you walk up, going straight down the middle, as the other two sides of it are the actual mausoleum part of it, into the map area. There's pretty much no one currently in the map room at this point. There is a Roe and General Kravik, but other than that, it's pretty devoid of any real things going on. It seems like most of the attention was drawn towards the pavilion. And so the two Roe and Crave are currently having a quick conversation around one of the maps.
Can I hear anything?
Yeah, they're not going to stop or lower their voices as you guys approach. So they'll just kind of openly be talking. It seems like, because I can't do both their voices at once, because one is a really high pitched and one is like slightly lower than my own voice. So I'm just gonna give you the Coles note. They seem to be talking about the kind of general idea of whether or not this requisition pavilion is like the best way to go with the sect, and also how it's gonna work, like if they're just gonna do an honor system or whatever. But it seems like for the most part, it's just kind of a casual conversation. Nothing like serious is going on.
Sounds good, sounds good.
So, what are we approaching them with?
Apparently, I ordered 2 orders of dumpling fire.
I'm following whoever on this one.
I'm just following other people's leads at the moment.
Oh no. I'll be back in a second.
we're following everyone else. We're following Andromeda. I don't fucking know.
Alright, I'm ahead
Don't
out.
worry about it.
You know, I said we're prolong it, but screw it. Yeah, break now. So we grab water if you want. Snacks, whatever. We will still be online and just chatting. And we will get back in roughly 15 minutes.
Okay.
Bug. You got stuff in chat, Zins?
Yes, I see stuff in chat.
Since I was trying to find the Twitch and I just could not find it. I don't know why.
I will send
I got
a
you.
link. Yeah, I was about to say, there should be like 4 different links in our chat at one point or
literally-
another in Discord.
It's all good. I watch the chat.
That's why it's Sinzer. Okay.
Oh, you've been searching Zins.
Yes, I've been searching Zins the whole time.
That's probably my bad. I just started calling him Zins. Actually, I think that's how you introduced yourself. Like, just
Yes,
call me
yeah.
Zin.
I typically go by Zins just because it's a lot easier. I do not even want to go into my like Steam or Xbox or any of those kind of names, because there's another like 2 Zs that I'm missing out.
Excuse me.
It's at 4 people now.
Yeah. First of all, yeah. Let's quickly acknowledge. Hi, people in chat. Thanks for being here. Yeah, we're just kind of doing this. We're having fun. If we get any traction on it, we get traction on it.
Return.
Yes, you have returned, but we have not as a whole yet. We're taking a break.
I know.
Let people grab some drinks and stuff. I'm assuming you see the
I'm only muting,
Twitch.
I'm not deafening.
True. I assumed you'd leave the room at some point. And I need to quiet down, because I've been yelling like 90% of this time.
I got wireless headphones.
Rude.
I got wireless headphones. I'm fancy.
Oh, I should also take this time to, you know, not have a whole crap load of dice on the floor. That'll be neat.
So, you wanted to bring up the character that retired after an adventure? I said I had?
I don't remember saying that.
Said you wanted to bring it up in the break.
Do we want to bring it up? I'm good with whatever.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It was
Talking about Finry.
the
Yeah.
wizard. Yeah. He retired after the blood cult incident.
Wait. No, wait. We're talking about completely different things. I'm thinking of something else. What's up?
We were talking about characters that retired. Like the joke of, what if after this we just retired or something?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've retired a couple characters too, though. That's the thing. Okay. Chat's talking. Do you guys have any other DM or player advice as a whole from chat? Thank you for interacting.
I don't have a lot, as I haven't really DM'd, but if you're gonna be a player, try not to think too hard about it, and make a character that you can see yourself in. So, like,
Play what makes you happy
there's
and
still
don't bend
parts
yourself
of
too
me
far.
in there.
Very true, very true. Also, respect the DMs. I've heard so many
Yes.
horror stories.
Oh, yeah.
Always.
Now, the one
And reverse
thing
too.
I could say, no matter what, if you're playing, player, DM, whatever, it's a game. Have fun with it. If it's causing you so much stress that you, like, can't sleep the night before, or you physically don't want to play it, then don't play it. Like, that's a pretty safe way to say it. Have fun with it. And I also know there's a lot of styles to DM. So, I personally go about it completely different than my brother does. Because I go to him and I bounce ideas off of him. And they're so vague that I'm like, hey, huh? And he's like, what? You don't have 2 pages planning this out? And I'm like, no, do you?
What, you don't have a 40-page lore sheet for this world?
No. Case in point, for the lore of, Aqquar is the full name of the continent. Yeah, alluding to it. It's only in big bold letters in the background. For this campaign, I've written up all my lore in short quotes that I sent to the players. That's because I feel very, very bad about straight up text walls. Like when there's a 300-page text wall of pure lore, that's a slog. And if people can get just... like, I'd rather get the general vibe or kind of an interesting fact about the area rather than every single thing that ever happened in history from, like, the last 100 years.
What
And it
you're
leaves
telling
room
me?
for the DM to just make up stuff too, so like you're not
Yes.
just logged in.
Yes.
You're telling me you don't want the DM to waterboard you with lore?
Preferably not, yeah.
Ace, what did you say? I missed that. It cut out a bit for me.
Oh, I was saying like just the snippets makes it very open for the DM to change things if they want to.
Because I'm quite a chaotic and fast and loose DM. I'm just gonna put that out there right now.
Yeah, like I ever DM'd, the players would know the lore better than I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why, like, I want to use the wild mount. Like, I want to start a campaign in that. I've
actually written a book for a setting.
Yo.
Mm-hmm.
It's not published or anything, and I never think it will be. But like, I do plan on running a game in that setting.
Because I know, I've done very little. I say I've done very little homebrew, and then I look to my screen and see the full ass world map, and I'm like, wait a second. It's kind of the whole deal of I've done very little homebrew mechanically,
Yeah.
because the way I go about D&D, especially the way you create worlds, is do something that you're genuinely interested in and then put a twist on it or make it somewhat more adaptable to what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of the whole deal of
the way that I make a world is I just throw shit at the wall and sees what sticks.
well, that's also a like
Off
pretty
noodles.
decent idea though. That's the thing, because Aqquar. This isn't the first campaign we've played in Aqquar. I've had a campaign not too long back that most of the people playing here right now have had the pleasure of playing in. You know, tooting my own horn incredibly much.
It was.
I'm a first timer.
Yes, we
Side note?
got Andromeda here as a first timer, which is neat.
Of a setting.
But yeah, so
yeah, another setting.
essentially, I made the story that I wanted to tell before the actual setting itself, which I think is, at least the way I like to build stuff, the best thing. Because what you want to do is you want to figure out what you want to do with it, and then you see, okay, well, how do I want to make that happen?
Whereas I kind of like having a sandbox to play in.
But that's the thing.
Yeah, I
'Cause-
like to do random land generation and then make a story to fit the land.
They're not exactly mutually exclusive, though. That's the
Yeah.
best part. Because I keep it
When
fast
I
and
make the map
loose.
for my setting, I hit the randomize button so many times.
See, that's a good part with, because Irail is, this campaign right now, it's a prequel setting in the lore, prior to our first campaign. So the first campaign, I had the map already there, and I'm like, okay, what do I want to change about it to bring something new to it? And then I did some nice changes. By the way, map stuff we get from, at least the world map we have on Incarnate. So it's a nice map generation place. Yep. That's just a shout out. I also have a 2-minute tabletop to thank for literally all our battle maps and tokens. Like, they're great over there.
Sponsor us.
Like, I just a very casual, hey, yeah. Because
So much for having stuff that we can use.
I know, there is so much, like, I can't even, like, fully explain, how insane it is that all of these things, you know, exist. Right? Like,
Afford.
how not exactly niche. I'm not gonna call D&D niche at all, because it's gotten more or less
Really
in the
isn't
mainstream.
anymore.
And beyond
No.
that.
It's more of the deal
And
of
beyond that.
people actually thought, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we could do this? And then they made that happen.
They did it.
Not only that they made it happen, but they made it available for everyone too.
Yeah. No more paywalls here.
No, yeah, a lot of them
And if
are
there
really
is,
good
we're
with
gonna
that.
make it our own anyway.
Most of it's like you can pay if you want to, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
D&D Beyond, I've only bought like individual subclasses for a character that I needed that session.
Exactly.
Same.
Side note about D&D Beyond, because I use D&D Beyond for my character sheet,
Yes.
and then I use what is it, Beyond 20 Beyond or Beyond 20
As the
like,
extension.
Like that, yeah.
as the
Beyond
extension.
20, yeah.
I will go full Sam Riegel if D&D Beyond sponsors this. I will.
Oh, god damn it.
Me in that. I will go Sam Riegel on this shit if D&D
I
Beyond
would
Look.
sponsors
actively
us.
join in it if you do that.
That's the thing. Because I, honestly,
That or I
this
can
is
make
a...
my own segment and just have it be horror.
I absolutely love
ad
doing
sponsor.
this. That's the thing, right? Because
Mhm.
world building is a lot of the fun, and then improving and just shooting the shit with you guys is great, right?
Yeah.
If
I'm
we
not seeing how
could...
far I can bend the history of characters.
Oh, yeah.
I already
No,
don't. Wait, this might have been covered. Dude, raccoons exist right now. At this point.
No.
Or are
No.
they just, they
Never
legit no
existed.
okay. I wasn't sure,
Raccoons
and
are
then-
straight up not a thing in Irail.
Figment
Just
of your
how...
imagination.
In I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure what book it was from, but I'm not sure if it was foxes coming in to Faerun, because of Mordenkainen, or the other way around, in that in the real world there was no foxes until Mordenkainen made a portal in the 80s.
Oh my god.
There's some sort of weird lore from that in like 2E, and that is the one thing that sticks into my mind. And I'm 90% sure it's the other way around, and like Faerun didn't have foxes until the 80s.
Glorious.
Which there's so much to unpack there.
So,
Sure, like the whole
normal-
raccoon business. I had a running joke with my warlock that they knew a demon that called itself a raccoon.
Oh
but,
yeah.
like,
Yep.
I never like specified what they looked like, so like it might not even be an actual raccoon. It just might say
It
it's
might just
that.
be like a dude
eh.
named Raccoon.
Yeah, it's basically was just a demon named raccoon. Like we don't know what it is. It's
Hey, look, he's gonna do what he's gonna do in the corner. No need to
you
question
can
it.
ignore him. Yeah.
I had a
We've
point
got
to
enough
say
of
about advice back. Oh, it was like because I'm not a political person, and like as soon as someone starts talking politics, I shut down just because like family holidays.
Family
We don't
drama.
Yeah.
literally. We have said like do not bring up
We
politics
don't-
because one person not
We don't need
shouts
that
but
in
gets
our
very
D&D.
aggressive. So or not even aggressive, but they get like passionate about it, and it's just like I don't want to talk about politics on the holidays. So
Mhm.
I don't like
Real
Play
world
your
politics bad.
Yeah.
In-game politics
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
and that's the thing is like I want to be able to play at some point play a character where it's like they're a president, they're a mayor, they're like something to do with politics, but right now it's like I'm playing my character as me, but more so a furball who has this
See, but
backstory.
then-
It's like if you're
And the
starting
thing of-
out for
yeah.
a character, just I say start with yourself with X backstory or
Build from
X
there.
stat.
Because there is
build
nothing
from-
wrong with having a self-insert for a first character.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
absolutely
it helps
nothing
get
wrong
used
about
to the
that,
game
right?
Without worry about the roleplay.
And
exactly.
every time you roleplay a character, you're going to bring a bit of yourself into there because that's your world
Yeah.
experience.
Or you're gonna
and
like
how
drag a
you
bit
know.
of your character into yourself.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a lot more chaotic after playing Callista.
I believe it was
Sometimes
uh,
a mix of both.
sometimes a mix of both. I believe it was Brennan Lee Mulligan that had this metaphor of stained glass, where no matter what
Yeah.
sort of color you have to filter that through, you're gonna get still some of that light of you. So it's kind of the whole deal
Beautifully
of how many filters do you want, how many layers do you want on this character, and it doesn't really matter.
Beautiful, do you want to make the stained glass?
Exactly. It's like the whole thing of you're playing a game, do as much as you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Because there's also a lot of horror
And
stories
that's-
about one person stepping just a bit too far and kind of messing it up for everyone involved, right?
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned about that with every character I make because, well, they're all gonna have a bit of trauma because no sane person goes on an adventure just because.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hey, I'm gonna go kill that dragon.
See,
Why?
That's the
What's
thing is
the
like I've
point?
thought about making a character like that. Just be like, I was bored. Like I wanted to do something. And
you
this was
can
fun.
Do that. You can do that, but like,
There's no
Most-
real progression for your character.
There's no drive for your character.
Ooh, which also branches into, and this will
basically a
probably be
job.
the last topic before we jump back into the last bit of our session.
Yeah.
Whenever you're making a character, I always keep in mind a passive and an active goal. So that being of what are they currently doing, what do they want to do, and then what is their general thing they want to be in the world. So I'm going to use my example of
Big plan and
Vermicelli,
current
the
plan.
half-orc bard that I have in my other campaign, the one that I play in. And he's currently trying to find his sister, so that'd be an active goal. But his passive goal is, I'm just trying to make the world a slightly better place than I found it in. So it's kind of the whole deal of make your character have a motivation, because sometimes that motivation, without it, you're just kind of sitting there. You know, you're gonna be in the tavern the whole time
Or a
if you
stagnant-
don't have any reason to leave.
You don't have any plot hooks to drag you in to the
Mhm.
story. Though most of my character's motivation doesn't come until we level up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've been over that.
Yeah.
Right now it's just a job, but eventually.
And with that, let's jump right back into our game. So we just briefly headed up to the mausoleum with Ro and General Crave kind of chatting amongst themselves. Talking about the new requisition board. General Crave first notices you guys, looks over. For reference, Crave is like an essentially a white lion, Leonin, with like a full like Roman breastplate going on, full like not necessarily skirt, but the kind of battle deal going on. It's like an armored kilt essentially is the best way I could describe it.
Thing. Layered strips of hide.
They will never
Yes.
take our freedom. Sorry.
Yeah.
Practice my voice somehow.
Hey, lord.
A gladius hangs
Sorry.
at their hip, and they just kind of look at you. You're back.
You did not die. That is surprising.
I'm concerned if this is your line of work, then.
Nice.
Well, I mean, we ran into like a giant flail snail, and then also like stopped an
No,
illegal
no.
potion
We-
organization.
Yes.
That seems
should
like a
give it a
lot.
report. You don't
kidding.
even know. Then there were a colony of roughly 10-foot tall spider-esque people.
Uh
I
huh.
heard of driders.
A bit more spider than that,
Yeah,
from what I
but
remember.
still like general concept.
Ro pops
Almost
up.
people?
They kind of like this darker, almost like a moss-colored full orc, a bow around the back, and almost like black hair, kind of almost dreaded down into like some sort of ponytail
Okay.
kind of deal.
How tall are these two?
So Crave is roughly like 5'8", while Ro is more like 6'2", 6'3". They're
I
not.
just wanted to know how far Andromeda and Nicoletta tower over these people.
Yeah.
7'7" is I.
It's still. You look, man. I'm not gonna tell you you can't make your characters that tall. Go ahead.
I'm looking
But
But
wanna be
everyone
10 feet
else
tall.
is going to be normal.
That's it. My next backup character is a gnome.
Yup.
Yeah. You can sit on our shoulders.
Oh no.
Yes.
So
Infinite
yeah.
tower.
Xenon again?
I forgot about Sinan.
Non again.
Please make Sinan canon in this campaign, please.
I mean,
That
we
would
went.
kinda work.
Look, we went back 1,000 years. That's not how this works.
make him immortal. Sorry. I'm
So-
losing
I
it.
don't know what's
It's
happening.
that
Do not worry about it. It's late. So, Ro kind of pops in the conversation like, wait, I'm sorry, you were tasked to see if, the mine was, like, alive, and you took
it's
down
very much
a
muddy,
fake
so we
medical ring.
Oh no, that was just like the pit stop in Orbis.
That was the en route.
Huh.
You know, that took like just like half a day to do.
Ew.
Cool.
Yeah, the main thing in the mine was like an entire den of like these drider spiders things.
I don't know the term.
Can you describe
Like
them?
knee? Hmm.
So, you know,
black
like,
skin,
Centaurs,
skin.
like
No, no,
from,
I,
like, the waist up.
eyes.
the concept of arachne doesn't elude me. I'm talking about any features that may help identify them.
Black skin, 6 green yellow eyes. Poisonous
Use
daggers.
magic.
Very magic. A elongated head.
So these creatures were sentient.
Yes.
Kinda.
Ish.
I'm not sure how much.
They're
but I
more
know
just
they
kind of
tried
like
to
slightly
speak
intelligent,
in-
but mostly bloodthirsty.
I know they tried to speak to us, or they were speaking in Undercommon.
But they did attack us first.
That's interesting. So by
Yes.
all means, they shouldn't have been there.
No.
No.
Hmm.
Oh,
And regular Drider
Speaking
rarely ever
of-
go near the surface.
speaking of the fake medical ring, the goldfinches.
Oh, I forgot that entire
Oh.
thing existed.
Boy, the goldfinches.
Uh,
Well, let's see. When we were going to the boats,
We ran into a
encountered
few
band of
that were
bandits,
acting as bandits.
and these morons slaughtered them.
Hey,
I
no.
managed to
No,
knock
I shot it
two
in the
unconscious.
knee. I shot one in the knee. I
Oh,
was
no.
merciful.
Those were the next ones.
Oh,
You
yeah,
killed
sorry.
these ones.
Oh, the ones in the woods.
Yes,
Yeah, I
the ones
forgot
in
about
the
the
woods.
group.
You
I
see
knocked-
a horrified
I looked at
expression
Rita
creep
and-
onto Rose's face, but Krave's just listening intently.
I knocked the leader unconscious, and I do not remember what I gathered from him. What information I gathered from him, other than that they worked for the Goldfinches and they were a mercenary band.
And then when we were dealing with the illegal medical ring, we found
No,
like the
before that-
goldfinches were sponsors.
Before that, we managed to use some of the. I'm going to call it a potion. Some of the potion on a fish, and it grew larger. Some of our members decided to sell this fish. The buyer was working for the goldfinches and happened to be a pact bearer and attempted to murder us. Let's see. When we were leaving Ostium, or Urbis, my bad. Let's see. There were two. Well, there was a Leonin and a changeling exchanging money, presumably for the. No, it wasn't Ostium. It was a nearby town. Whatever. You
It was
understand.
like this one place, like near the river. Going
Basically,
up the Montibus.
just
like a
a-
side town
basically just the dock. Not big enough for a map.
and a bank.
In the bank. So there was an exchange of money there, and we managed to apprehend them.
Yeah, like they just saw us and started running,
Yeah.
and then told us about some of the illegal stuff they were doing
Apparently-
after we captured them.
The money was for the potion trade, and the goldfinches have gathered information on some or all of.
I know they had like
this new
in-depth information
members-
on everyone in our group.
members of the new Teleomus sect.
They knew things they shouldn't
additionally,
have.
At the mine, Nicoletta here found the skeleton of one of the goldfinches at the wheel of the elevator leading to the largest quantity of the spider creatures.
Yes, that is concerning, to say the least of it.
It is.
Once
So-
or twice they could just say they had road members, but like they were popping up in every.
So
every
you're
city.
you're insinuating then that this mercenary gang,
Ni-
they were the ones that
No.
incited these spider attacks.
Oh hell no! I do not think that was.
I have no
gold.
idea.
It might have been
I
a
just
side
know they
effect,
were there.
or it might have just been the mine. I know that they were there is the problem. Additionally, there might be a sect of them focused on less than legal activities.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's all of the goldfinches, but
We
there
also
do
dealt with
happen
a
to be a
group of
lot.
we also dealt with a group of kobolds making hob.
You see Ro just kind of like, through the terrified expression, just kind of like swallow a laugh.
Yes. Their leader's name was Gob.
Was.
Kuthar exploded him, and I accidentally exploded one.
I made a few into trees by accident.
Yes.
So what I'm getting,
That was an accident?
what I'm getting from all of this is that we should research the goldfinches and not put any of you on the front lines anytime soon.
No. No,
Oh no, we are taking a mild break.
Yeah. And besides, I only aim at knees. If they move and it hits a vital spot, that's not my problem.
Now you only aim at knees.
I see.
I'm getting better.
Ro is just kind of like lost for words at this point. And
I
he-
aim at knees. If they move, it's on
I'm
them.
assuming this is a bit more than everyone else, yes?
I mean, we've only had one accidental death with the other phalanx.
Oh no, I tried so very hard to get these people to stop
I mean-
murdering, but it kept happening.
I mean, not
He
much.
did!
Not
He
much
did.
exactly
And
is like
Arthur got eaten by a puddle.
Oh, okay, all right, nice, fun.
Well, I mean, he disappeared into a puddle. That's same thing.
We found him later in another puddle.
We found him.
You see that Ro is like essentially like blue screening behind the eyes, and
This
the
is
general
amazing.
goes to the map board, the map table, takes a it's this kind of like wooden plank with a bunch of papers on it, hands it to Andromeda. Can I please get all of that in writing?
I expected this. And Andromeda begins writing.
All right.
Additionally, well, in the mine, we did find a halfway point for a Triton teleportation station to a place named Waimono.
Both of your superiors just kind of like furrow their eyebrows, like, wait, there's
I'm surprised you don't. There's a what?
no that. Why would there be a teleportation circle on land?
Oh, it's not a circle.
It's a
Oh,
stopping point,
room.
like a midpoint. And it
It's
had like
more of a
glowing
conduit.
water in there.
Yeah.
And when
no,
you
it's
touched it,
more of
you
a
could see
conduit.
far away.
I am
It's a
going
conduit
to.
direct the teleportation.
Okay.
It's like,
I'm
people
going
don't even
to.
stop there.
No,
It's
all right. Yes, this. Whew, I'm going to immediately notify our arcanists. I will be right back. And Ro just kind of walks out of
Lost
the
all
mausoleum.
magic. I should add, Waimono is not a name known by any Triton I have ever met. And that is a substantial number.
So it's not like a exact translation. It's more of a name or a symbol. Yes?
Waimono is words are hard when transferred into common. It doesn't have a definition, if that is what you're asking. Additionally, it's not any major location that would have a teleportation hub that I have ever heard of. So,
Yes, that is not exactly what I was expecting to find in the mountains.
you can imagine my surprise.
Alright. I'll in that case, the shipments for the bronze should be coming soon.
Hopefully.
Other than that, I don't exactly know where you want to go from here. Ro may have
I'd like
not.
to take a break as that last mission was very rough.
That is completely reasonable. Now, all new requisite. Let's pretend she said that, or they said that, right? I am just not braining.
It's late.
Yeah. The requisition
Been through
pavilion.
a lot.
You are free to take as many as you like, with a minimum of 1 per month.
So as long as we do 1 per month.
As long as you do 1 per month,
Okay.
you will get paid.
That seems like a pretty low requirement. Well, I guess some missions take a lot longer than others.
You were gone for
Never mind.
more than 2 weeks.
Yeah, I retracted my statement as soon as I said it. I don't always think sometimes.
I mean, Sam.
Both in and out of character.
Yes.
It's always in and out of character for me too.
Our brains are melting.
So, take as much as an off as you think you need. We should be having materials in within the month at least. But for now, if you want, stop by the tavern, get some equipment if you need, and let any of us know if you're going to take up a personal mission.
Oh, yeah. Does the egg have any movement to it?
The last couple days, Ace, you would have noticed this quite a bit earlier, when you were waxing and doing your kind of daily clean of it. The egg strapped to your back, like both straps, even the leather itself around it, feels a bit warm. Like there's an unnatural warmth that you do not remember anyone preparing you for or ever experiencing it yourself. But there is no movement.
I'll just write a letter like asking about like why is the egg warm?
Hey guys, what's up? Help!
The thing that we've been protecting for generations is warm. What do I do?
Literally like 1,000 years we've been worshipping and protecting this egg, and now it's like suddenly getting warm. And like I've carried the egg for at least like 2 years before like the adventure started.
Eggs
No,
don't
now
get
it's
warm
getting warm?
typically.
It's just gonna happen
No.
sometimes.
Especially like metallic eggs.
I mean, it's just gonna happen sometimes. You just
Like,
gotta
sometimes it's just like that.
Yeah.
It really
like,
do be like that, huh?
It's like a computer. Whenever it does that, you gotta hit it a few times.
No,
Don't
no,
hit the
no. If you try and hit the egg, Ace is like any attempt at getting better at not killing people. No, he's gonna kill people. Like he's lawful good, but that lawful good is to protect the egg. Don't touch the
Lawful
egg.
good.
And that is my alarm. Uno momento, per favor. Talk about what your next steps want to be real quick. I need to go take a medication.
Okay.
Fun stuff.
Alright. So,
We're probably
I
gonna
keep
vibe
forgetting
and
to take
be
one of mine.
chaotic while here.
Same.
what do you want to do after this?
Um,
We need a break. I can guarantee that.
I need
Yeah.
at least a break to send a letter back to the compound because the egg's been getting warm. It's not supposed to do that. We worshipped this for at least like 5-10 generations. It's never gotten warm. In all the years my father's carried the egg, it's never gotten warm. Like, do you feel the egg? It's warm. It's not supposed to do that.
Do you want me to cool it down for you? I can help.
No,
you
no,
put
no,
it in
no, no.
ice.
No. Don't cool it down. Just like,
So,
just wait for me to get more information from back home.
How long do you think that'll take?
Maybe like a week or two. If I can get one of their Aqquar messengers, it'd only be a week.
we'll be
And-
taking a bit.
You won't want to take the week? I'm taking your accent. I am so sorry. I'm trying to keep it from taking it, but
It's
Oh, I never know what accent is gonna come out of me when I open my mouth.
mood.
I
same.
never know
Wow.
whether it's gonna be a little bit more like this, or if I'm gonna be more like a squawker. I don't know.
Gotta love muting Discord and nothing else, so there was still just footsteps in the stream.
I've gotten used to
Nice.
like muting myself before in OBS before.
Yeah, no.
Because I just talk to a lot of people in Discord.
I just have like minor music in the background, so like little noises don't get me as much.
I have the Kingdom Dance
Oh.
from Rapunzel for 3 hours going.
I just have cave noise.
Okay,
I
so-
should probably turn cave noise
Yes,
off.
so I've been gone for less than 2 minutes. What fuckery did you get up to?
Actually, it
Um,
was
just panicked
Ace was
about
just
the
explaining
on
the egg.
track. I kept us on track. Did it.
So,
I was
General
just saying, like, I need
Crave.
to hire a messenger.
Mm-hmm. So, going to hire a messenger for the Aeolian Mountains. Over near the kind of entrance, there is on one side the stable hand, and on the other, there is a messenger. It's a kind of like this spiraling tower, with a bunch of holes in the actual building itself, used for any matter of messenger birds. Sometimes pigeons, sometimes hawks, and on the very rare
Sometimes
occasion, a
helicopters.
raven. Sorry, what's up?
And
Did we agree
sometimes
that
an
we're
Aarakocra.
taking a 2-week break?
Um,
Did we agree that we're taking a 2-week break?
Yes.
Just for
I-
Ace to get his letter.
that is completely fine. We can do a time skip because I am also changing up the pace of the campaign after this, which I will discuss
Nice.
at the end.
While we're waiting,
Mm-hmm.
is there? I'm being a theater kid. Is there a music store, instrument store in Ostium?
In
If you go
Ostium?
to an instrument store, I would go with you.
Not necessarily, no. Essentially, what you know of Ostium, it's essentially this walled, permanent garrison. There's only a dozen or so civilians that aren't actual military gear, like military, like on the military payroll. So it's the kind of scenario of if you want to buy like some common item or a very particular thing like a specialized instrument, you would even need to find a person in the military that's like does that as a hobby, or you're
Gotcha.
gonna have to leave the city.
Okay. Alrighty then. I for whatever reason had
Unfortunately,
gathered it was a like more of a town that they had
Yeah,
set
so
up in.
The
Not
way
so much of a
Ostium,
garrison.
it's literally it's a army camp so massive that it's considered a town by law.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Like, Ostium elects its own senators for the Iralian Senate. Like, it is so massive, and because it does get some favor from the government itself, it's counted as a full city.
Gotcha. Okay.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've described a very small portion of the city, of the Ostium itself, just the main road down to the mausoleum with a bunch of the more actual, like, equipment things going on, like the quartermaster, all that sort of stuff. There is essentially, like, 30 tents on either side that could hold easily, like, 100 people each.
Wow. Okay.
Like, the main bulk of the military is in this one city.
Gotcha.
Big
to know, good
fucking
to know.
city.
Yeah.
So
I just
no
by
committing
habit
crimes.
make everything. Oh, I was just realizing like I just realized like
At
I
least
forgot this map had technically grown like shrunk from the or it had grown from the first campaign, but it had
Yes.
shrunk from this campaign to this first campaign. So I was still picturing the like small towns like 2-day travel from Orbis to Ostium like that sort of
Because
thing.
yes, I definitely fucked up travel times last campaign.
It still worked out. Like I like the idea of like oh it's just because what was it the water level rise sort of thing. Something like
That
that, I
may or
don't
may not
think.
be explored.
Yeah.
And also there were so many lakes like in
Oh,
this
yes.
area, and
Yeah.
we helped add to that amount.
Yes.
Sorry, you what?
At one point,
Shadowfell.
at one point, I will 100% have like, if we don't have enough people one day, I will 100% have a session that is literally just a small recap and just whole lore dump session of me being like, so welcome to Irael.
This is
Even
what
in the
happened
first
in the
episode of the
future.
podcast.
So,
Sorry.
you want to know about
Moving
Irael?
forward. Moving forward.
Sorry.
Yes. Moving forward,
Okay.
Ace, you head over to the messenger tower. There's a stocky, like he's gnomish, but it's almost, he's like as big as you could very easily mistaken him for a dwarf. Kind of like,
For a human. Oh wait, no, that was Jake.
yes. Like a shock of like red hair, kind of not necessarily slicked back, but kind of wind blown over to the back of his head. No real scars or anything to say, and with a massive purple cloak, the color of the Empire. He looks at everyone that comes in. Well, if it isn't Valençay, what can I do for you?
I need to send a message to the Venti compound in the Aeolian Mountains.
It's mighty far. All right.
Yeah, it's an important message.
So you want an expedited then?
Yes. Very much so.
All right. All right. I'll get a hawk prepped. You could expect it maybe week there and back if all goes well. Ideally, of
Thank you very
course.
much.
Have you already written up a letter, or are you gonna like dictate it to him?
Okay, out of character, the first sighting of like the egg warming up, because like it never changes temperature. No matter
So
what
in that
kind of
case, I'm
environment.
gonna say retroactively. You've had this letter in your back pocket for like a couple days now.
Yeah, no. Ace has anxiety. He's gonna make that letter as soon as
Yeah.
possible.
So you send that letter off. He just kind of lets you know it's covered under government equipment, so no cost necessary.
Yeah. And surprisingly, the letter is to his cousin Ed, even though he doesn't like Ed.
Oh no, you hate Ed.
Because I know I hate Ed, but Ed is also like the cleric warlock of the egg. So like,
You got to
the most
admit,
knowledgeable
Ed
about,
knows
like-
what he's doing.
yeah, he knows the mystic aspects of it. He
Um,
knows the egg only stays one temperature, even if you're in a volcano or at the bottom of the ocean.
and
So
with
for it to change temperature,
with that, the message master ties this scroll to the foot of this very not exactly brightly plumed hawk, but there's kind of like a red stripe going down each of its wings that seems almost like in paint to kind of like signify this is the extra fast military messenger hawk.
I just like slightly shuffle my
Racing
black and red
stripes.
feathers.
Essentially a
Racing
racing stripe,
stripes.
yes. He just kind of lets it go with just a flick of his arm, and it flies up through the central hole, which is just, it's a larger hole in the middle of this tower. From what you could understand of the actual building, you could more or less see that it's like a repurposed grain silo. So it's this massive like domed roof with a now like a hatch on the top, and these like holes were essentially like poked in more or less for the smaller birds. And the messenger master just kind of nods at you. Anything else I could get you?
Should be all for now. How much would that cost?
He told you it wouldn't. It would be under government expense.
Okay. Sorry, I'm a little anxious about this.
No worries. All right. And he kind of like just as he's gonna go back to what he normally does of like refilling the food in some of the kind of like miniature troughs that are like attached to the wall next to each hole. As soon as he tries to go and like get up from his seat, like a good like 3 different pigeons fly in the hole, fly in like various like higher up ones, immediately like flock to him, and you see there's like 2 on each shoulder, like 1 on his hand, and he's just like, all right, just sighs and continues going. So,
Well, that's all the business I have to deal with.
alright. Anyone else have some miscellaneous stuff they would like to do in Ostium?
Over the 2 weeks.
Over the 2 weeks.
However much you need to recoup and recover, whether that's financially, not financially, you guys got money, whether that be,
Wait, did we get paid?
yes,
We
so
get paid at the start.
We would have
right?
over the week,
Oh.
yeah.
yeah, so on the 4th of every month,
Oh, okay.
because you joined the
How much
4th,
did we get
they
paid?
like started your payroll the 4th.
Okay.
And
How
for
much did we
the
get
Add
paid?
20, right?
for the sake of just a general idea, so I'm probably gonna actually make a straight up Excel sheet and post it of the calendar.
I mean, that would work.
Okay.
So the dawn of every month comes before the dusk. So right now, after the time skip, we'd be ending the dawn and starting the dusk. So it would be in like the first few days of the dusk of the month of grass. So that being said,
On the grass?
yes, I actually have a full document written up in lore. I'm actually gonna go pull it up so I could not mess up my own world lore, preferably. You know, that'd be neat.
Retcon, it's fine.
Look, I'm chaotic enough that retcons are commonplace without me even knowing. That's not good.
So just the fact of the campaign.
That's not good!
That's enough slices!
That's good. That's enough slices.
Excuse me.
What is this like this cast if not Vine and TikTok references?
Drop.
Oh yeah, like... Ooh.
I was expecting that.
Okay. So how much money do we have?
So,
How many did we get?
yes, so at the end of the dawn, or the 4th of the dusk of each month, you guys get paid. That's what I'm gonna say. Just to make it all easier. So, with the time skip, we're going to just get to a nice even 7 of, at this point, the grassy dusk.
Okay, you're not.
And
How much
we
money
get
did we
20.
get?
20
20
gold.
gold.
20 gold, yes.
20 gold a month.
I completely skidded around the question, you know, you actually asked. So,
That's like one of the first few notes I took for session 1.
Um,
Gold, 20 a month.
so
plus
I'm
spoils of the
just
Okay.
as a quick lore dump.
During the break, I'm gonna buy something.
Yes.
Ooh.
Real quick, to put it in perspective, I have the calendar doc here with me. So there's still 4 seasons and 3 months each season, like there typically are on Earth.
Seasons are just long as fuck.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I already explained what dawn and dusk meant and what their difference was. So each of the dawn and dusk consists of 4 weeks, making the months in total 56 days and the year 672 days.
Nice.
And then so there's
Welcome to
the
world building.
currently we are in spring. So we're in the last month of spring. And going through it, there's the months of winter are bear, snow, and hail. Bear is an ARE, not the animal. Spring has rain, mud, and grass. Summer has sun, clear, and breeze. And then fall is the least interesting of orange, yellow, and brown.
Ooh.
Literally just the colors the leaf change.
I mean, it works.
I mean, it is better than literally the season called fall, because leaves fall. Right?
It was-
Like,
the fall
that's,
is orange
that's not a
color.
hot take. Like, fall is a stupid name.
That's why it's also called autumn, though.
Yep.
As an interesting name.
Autumnal.
So it's the colors was orange. What?
Orange, yellow, and brown for fall.
Yellow, brown.
And that is in order of what
Yeah.
comes first in the months. Or in the
So winter
seasons.
was bear, snow, and hail.
Yep.
You went very fast.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so bear would be January, and then snow would be February, hail March, rain April, mud would be May, June is grass. So currently we're in like just turning into summerish.
Rain,
Okay.
mud.
Oh, moving
Grace.
away from this.
Yes, we are getting away from this.
Moving away from this.
I had to pull up my lore document just because I like it.
I know. No.
It's in the lore doc.
Andromeda
I
is
will
going to
go
purchase 25 gold pieces worth of silver. Powdered silver.
Silver as in like silver coins?
No, silver as in like the resource.
As in like, okay, how do you want this silver? Do you want it as in like,
I need 25 gold pieces of powdered silver.
alright,
Oh.
so, that would be for, spell components, yes?
Yes.
So, that being said, I have a few special rules with spell components, and I'm pretty sure it hasn't brought up because we aren't at the level where spell components are a massive thing right now.
No, we are not.
With most spell components, if you have a holy symbol or component pouch, instead of waiving stuff that doesn't have a cost at all, I'm waiving anything with a cost that's lower than 50 gold.
Okay.
So you don't have to constantly get gold for like find familiar.
No. So that's the one thing I really don't like. And that was mainly where my reasoning
Okay.
came from. Because
Sorry.
unless you need like an 100 gold ruby, which is extremely specific and hella expensive, I'm gonna say whatever, right?
Yeah.
So if it's under 50 gold, I will not count it.
Gold, I don't need the resource. Okay.
Yeah, RG kind of died pretty often,
Yeah.
and we were kind of broke a lot.
So that's where that rule came from.
More or less.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, Nicoletta? Nicoletta?
Hmm.
I need your help with something.
Okay.
Okay. So, Andromeda is going to go somewhere quiet.
I'm going to follow.
At least look for somewhere quiet.
Within the city, the outer areas of the tents would be a good idea. So just on the outskirts near the wall.
Can it be near the water?
There is so Ostium does have a a port that you guys weren't allowed to use yet. Literally,
Some
that's
reason.
you guys are on probation for your first mission. You were no longer on
Fair
probation.
You
And
didn't
we've
want to.
killed the most people in this mission
Uh-huh.
than everyone else
Yeah.
combined.
Uh-huh.
You know, you saying that we're on probation is as if like you didn't want us to go to an island with cyclopses.
It's almost like I didn't want that to happen again. Yeah, who would have thought?
Oh my.
But to be fair, though, we
okay.
didn't fight the Cyclopses on that island.
No, you didn't. Moving right past that.
We're at the water.
Yep. You there's a small like basically in between the wall and the shore, because the wall goes right to the edge and even like dips a bit into like a netting like substance.
Okay. So, Andromeda is going to down and ritually cast ceremony.
Okay.
In order to attempt to communicate with her paladin patron.
All right.
I might need your help in case things go wrong.
Oh. Right. I will sit, but like be watchful.
I can keep an eye out as well if you need it.
No, Andromeda didn't approach anyone else.
Yeah, so it's just the two of them.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I was also trying to kind of read this because I've never actually heard of it.
No, I've heard of it before. Yeah.
It's particularly the dedication
Yes.
feature, but it's not going
Gotcha.
to be used exactly in that manner, as it's a bit different than what that's for.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I will. Yep. Be on guard.
So
And sit beside
Andromeda
Andromeda.
is holding her sword point to the ground, like, almost on her knees, but not.
Okay.
And is just muttering a silent prayer under her breath. As green light begins to flow from the hilt of the sword. Zins, take it away, because I don't know what's going to happen.
That is an extremely good question. So as the hilt kind of starts glowing, you have an extremely vague concept of what you're doing. Just in general. Both in this spell and as a paladin. So as the hilt starts glowing, what are you thinking in this moment? What is Andromeda not hoping to get out of it? While they are sitting on their knees, their hilt starting to warm with this magical energy that they're not completely in
I feel
control
like
of.
the hilt would actually be cooling down.
Semantics. Magic is warm.
Magic. Magic.
What
Magic,
is
magic.
Andromeda thinking? The first thought that goes through her head.
I need to know why you chose me.
And with those words kind of like silently running through your head, you go back on them. And there's no answer. Not immediately, at least. Your sword, what normally goes cold, as you said, when you cast magic, at this point, it doesn't really react in the way you expect. It's more of a comforting temperature. Not necessarily a cozy warm, because you're not exactly
Very
used to
much
that.
not a cozy warm.
You recognize this kind of feel, and you extremely doubt that anyone else would feel the exact same thing. There's no answer, but there is confirmation. And the glowing stops. And with that, we are leveling up to level 3.
I'm proactive.
Time for trauma.
Yep. Ace, I will talk to you how that resolves later.
Yeah, that has to be a later thing.
Yep. As
Since-
of yes.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, you said there isn't any instruments. I can't be a barbarian yet.
Oh.
Ooh.
You could take my flute.
Oh, primal path. I was looking through my stuff because it says I believe I'm proficient in something, so I was like, oh, maybe. And then I didn't have it, and I was like, shit. So, did I want to be? No, I wanted to be. Sorry, continue. I was just
Yes.
remembering what I was doing.
I was literally about to say, with that, looking at the time, it is a fairly nice place to end our session today.
Post 10.
Thank you all for joining. Looking at sheerly the numbers, there's a lot of people that were here throughout the game, and I am unreasonably thankful for that. Like, not like unreasonably thankful, unreasonably, like, hyped about it. Stay tuned for next week where we continue this saga. I don't know why I said saga, that makes it sound way more pretentious.
Next week on
Before we
Legends of
continue
Aqquar.
this,
Yep.
Next week on Legends of Insanity.
There's a Twitter
That
link
should be it.
in Twitch. I will try and do more live notifications and updates throughout there. If you really like what we're doing here, please give us a follow. There was also an idea thrown around about a Patreon,
Eh?
which like, depending on how
Unnecessary.
depending on how like
How well
Commission.
good we
gets.
feel about the vibe, we could definitely start some way to support us.
It would
And-
only be for commissions so far.
No, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Character art.
the
It's
if
important.
if and when we get any donations, Patreon, subscriber, Twitch capabilities, whatever that goes that way, the first thing we will do is get full commissions for our character art, because oh my god, do I want to bring these
I
characters
can't draw
fully to
everyone's
life.
characters.
I mean, Warloff, you did make us this lovely background, and you made
Oh,
your
hell
own
yeah.
character art. Without the praise and the future stuff, we're gonna end here.
Can
As
we-
I said, yes,
Could we roll our hit die on stream?
yeah, why not? Screw it.
Roll our HP.
Also, before I accidentally
Okay.
roll 3d12, am I only rolling one?
Only a single D12 add your con. We do not want the bard being the tankier member again, even though you are barbarian.
I'd be a
It
bard.
only happened like 3 times with
And I
one
did,
dice.
I did take it back. I did take
It was
it back.
exponential.
No, but I did reduce it.
No, I
reduced it down to, like,
understand that,
12,
but like,
And then I was just tanky anyway. Yet I still somehow ended up dying.
I rolled a 10.
alrighty.
I need to find a
Hell
Is
yeah.
a
d12.
9 plus 2.
Yeah, you guys are
I'm
rolling
scared to
nice.
pick the wrong. I'm
I
scared
got
to
a
pick the wrong
6 plus
d12.
2.
Is this a 12 or is this a 10? That's a 10. I have too many dice. Hang on. I can't find a d12. That's a d8.
Wish a Lele worked on spears.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Because it's only a club
I
it
know what I'm
applies to,
doing.
right?
Club and quarterstaff.
Ah.
I'm gonna roll my gemstone dice for this. I haven't
I mean,
rolled them yet.
a spear is only a spiky quarterstaff.
Right.
Guys,
Mm.
I have the same amount of spell slots as I did with my like last character.
Yeah, your
Ah.
warlock last campaign at like level 10.
Well, that's because
Yikes.
it's a
I can't wait
warlock.
until I get to more spell slots. I'm not gonna know what
What's
to do
your
with them.
What's your character again? Like what's
I'm a
the
ranger.
ranger, right?
And I'm a paladin. We both have 3 spell slots.
And then we got our warlock who has less spell slots than both half-casters.
And then we got the big
You should
smash.
get another spell slot as it is 3rd level.
I have all of the cantrips though.
Indeed.
Yes.
Okay.
Succumb to the cantrip.
So,
Okay, cool.
yeah, I'll bring something up after I stop streaming. But yes, with that, with all the numbers rolled and
It's
dice
back.
and level up.
I'm asking Bahamut to bless my dice right now.
Yes, that.
Wait. He gets a pack.
9.
Hell yeah.
I got a 9. Which plus 6 is 15.
Spells.
Wait, where the
Oh,
hell
I
do you
don't
get a
to
plus
pick
6
any new
from?
spells.
My constitution.
Yeah.
No, just your Constitution bonus once.
Yeah.
You do not have a 22 to con.
It says I have a hit point bonus.
Yeah, because D&D Beyond is weird when it does manual hit points. Because it's assuming that you're
Oh,
doing
okay.
everything all at once and not gradually.
So that'd be like +2 for every level you've done.
Yeah, so what is your Constitution modifier on your sheet? It's 2, right?
I have to go. Baby Drake blesses your dice. Okay, I'll apply that quick. Where are my abilities? Right now, it's a 15.
So yeah, that's a +2. So it'd be the 9 + 2 then.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Yep.
So
review.
11. No, that'd be 35.
Wait, I get to prepare another spell. Hell
Ooh,
yeah.
I gotta
Yep.
learn speak with animals for free.
And with that cool mechanic stuff,
Same.
we'll end the session. Goodbye, y'all.
Yay!
Thank y'all.
Bye.
Bye.